Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome to Arc Basics, a show where we break down the ABCs of how to start an arc, how to accomplish things, how to achieve things, how to be the best you possibly can be. That's right, we're going with the full ABCs of arc. A for arc, B for basic, C for, well, whatever you want it to be. C can be anything. Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to Arc Basics. I'm Phlinger Phoo, and today we're going to be discussing the new Kibble system, and more specifically, the best dinos to tame for each different types of kibble, because with the new Kibble system, there are 6 different types of kibble. There are basic kibble, simple kibble, regular kibble, superior kibble, exceptional kibble, and extraordinary kibble. Now, each one of those tames a different variety of the different dinos on Arc, and we are going to be explaining which ones they do tame, which ones are specifically designed to tame. But also, we're going to be discussing if you're going to make a kibble farm for the new kibble, which dinos are the best to tame for said kibble farm, because it's not like you have to do the massive kibble farms like you used to, and you don't have to do that anymore. Now what you have to do is get some small dinos, some specific dinos, well, not all of them are small, get some specific dinos just for the kibble that you are going to need. So you can actually have a much smaller kibble farm, which is kind of cool in its own way. I mean, my thoughts on the new kibble system are varied. They're different, but I mean, I have good and bad things that I look at it, but the best thing is, you don't need a massive kibble farm anymore. So let's start off with the very first one, because we're going to be going in order of the different types of kibble. We're not going to be going in what is the absolute #1 best dino to be tamed. That's not the way we're going to do it. It's each individual kibble, we're going to be discussing the best one. So let's start it off with the first one. Now, the first one is sitting right next to me. All right, now this is dodo kibble. These are the, this is the basic kibble. These guys right here, they will give you more eggs than any other dino in Arc. And they will give it to you quite a bit, because when dodos poop, they have a chance to lay an egg, unlike with the other dinos that have a interior timer on them, so where when that timer runs down, they it hits and then they roll a die, and it's like, hey, if they get lucky, then they lay an egg. If not, they don't. But dodos, whenever they poop, they have a chance to lay an egg. That is if they're female. If they're male, they'll give you a different type of egg, and you can't use that for kibble. So yeah, let's concentrate on the females. But dodos are super easy to knock out. They're super easy to tame. You can punch them in the face, knock them out, throw some measure berries on them, and you can already start your kibble farm. Now, the recipe for the kibble, here, let me put it up here on the screen really quick, and then we'll discuss that just a little bit. But the recipe itself for the kibble is 10 Amar berries, 1 cooked meat, 1 extra small egg that we get from the dodos, 5 fiber, 5 measure berries, 10 tinto berries, and 1 water. Very simple, very easy, and dodos are really the hardest thing for it, and dodos are super easy. Now, this kibble is actually used to tame Dilophosaurs or Dillos, more dodos, Kairuku, Parasaur, Phiomia, and Mesopithecus. So, this is, in my opinion, this is one of the best kibbles, because you get Phoos with it. You get the little Mesopithecus, goes on your shoulder, they'll be your buddy forever. It's amazing. Alright, so now that we've covered this kibble, let's move on to the next one. Alright, and we're back, and apparently it started raining as soon as I hit record. Yay for that! Alright, even though it's raining through a blue sky. Alright, so anyway, now we're going to be talking about the simple kibble, or the small eggs. Now, the simple kibble and the small eggs, they are actually a little bit different. Well, they're actually not much different than the other eggs, but it's the same kind of concept. Now, the recipe for this one is 1 cooked fish meat, 1 small egg, 5 fiber, 5 measure berry, 2 rock carrot, and 1 water. And we're standing in the middle of my old kibble farm. Yeah, this right here, all this stuff right here was designed for the old kibble system. Now we have to worry about this new, seriously? Dark clouds, go away. All right, I'm gonna have to gamma in the middle of the daylight because of clouds. Can you believe that? All right, but anyway, now the you can get these eggs from all sorts of different type of dinos. And here, let me put that up on the screen and then do a little break so where, you know, I can time it right in the editing and everything like that. But the best one out of this that I have to that I have to say is the best one to get the simple eggs for the kibble is raptors. These guys right here, they're an easy tame, super quick, super easy, and plus they also have the benefit of, if you can get some really good ones, you can actually have a raptor pack. So, yeah, you can get these eggs from all sorts of different ones like trikes, and I almost said trikes, but trikes, they're a longer tame, they, a little bit tougher tame, and in my experience, trikes generally don't yield nearly as many eggs as raptors do. Yeah, I know they have the same % chance to do it, but it always seems to me that raptors give more eggs because you can breed them, get a whole ton of them super easy, and just have a bunch of these guys. Plus, they also have the added benefit, you could ride them, you can turn them into a mount, you can turn them into a pack. Yeah, trikes, you can also turn them into a pack as well, but it's a slow pack, all right? Let's not kid ourselves. It's a slow pack. But the raptors, you can just raise up a few of these guys, you can breed them out, you can do all sorts of cool stuff, and I can't believe it is raining right now. Stop with the rain. All right, but yeah, okay, so, and then this kibble right here is used to tame Archaeopteryxes, Diplocoluses, Gallimimuses, Iguanodons, Megalosauruses, Morellatops, Pachyes, more raptors, and Triceratops, giant bees, and Ichthyosaurus. So it's used for quite a bit. We're stepping up on the kibble tree here just a little bit. I mean, it's not as much as some of the other ones, but it is quite substantial how many dinos you can tame with just a raptor egg. It's pretty cool. All right, so hey, let's jump on to the next one. All right, and we're back, and now we're talking about the regular kibble, or the medium eggs. Now, this is where it starts getting a little bit trickier, and a little bit more choice involved in it, because with the other ones, with the basic kibble, yeah, dodo, all the way. The simple kibble, raptor. Yeah, they just kind of edge out trike just a little bit because of how easy they are to breed, how easy they are to tame, stuff like that. Now, this next one is a little bit more difficult, but the amount of uses you get from this guy, it's so good. And we're talking about the Anki. Yeah. Okay, here, hold on. Let me, all right, now this one right here, this is the regular kibble. Now, the recipe for the regular kibble is 1 cooked meat jerky, 1 medium egg, 5 fiber, 2 long grass, 2 sava root, plus water, all right? Now, this one right here is used to, well, you can actually get this egg from here. Let me put it up on the screen right here, and then, do the whole thing with the editing tricks, and, there we go. All right, so that one right there, that's how you get these eggs. Now, there's a huge list of them. Now, this one right here, it's more dependent on how you play and the different variables that happen while you're leveling up. But you always need to get an Anki. That's determined. You always need an Anki. Now, in my book, I always get an Anki plus breed said Anki. I get 2 Ankis, breed them, so where I have one that has all the movement speed, has all the imprint buffs on it, everything like that, so where you start off with a higher level of stats for the stat pool before you take it out and start using it for mass metal grindage. Yeah, and so I always need to have Ankis. I'm always got a bunch of them around me, so this one right here, I have to give it to the Anki. Now, I almost went with turtles with the Carboenimus because they're such an easy tame, low level. You can start getting this stuff early on, but you don't need them for really anything unless you want, to have a really slow tank. Now, that they do have uses as a really slow tank, but the Anki is also a really slow tank, which outdoes the turtle in the long run, especially an imprinted Anki. Trust me, these guys are beasts. All right, but a whole bunch of Ankis around you, and you get a ton of eggs. So now, the kibble farm is actually still pretty small. It's dodos, it's raptors, and it's Ankis. It's all things you're going to use. It's all things that you actually have a whole ton of use for. All right, now this one right here, this is a long list, so I'm going to be rattling this one off here for a minute. Now, this kibble right here is used to forcibly tame the anglerfish, more Ankis, baryonyxes, bezelbufos, the frogs, Carboenimus, the turtles, Carnotaurus, Dimetrodons, Doedicurus, Ichthyornis, Caprosuchus, Kentrosaurus, Lamantria, Pelagornis, Pteranodon, Pulmonoscorpius, Purlovia, Sabertooth, Sarco, Stego, Terrorbird, Thorny Dragon, Velonosaurs, and Diplodocuses. Oh, and Gigantopithecus. So yeah, there's a lot that these guys tame. So get those things going. Now, I almost actually said Ichthyornis because they're actually kind of an easier tame once you get the hang of it. But yeah, Anki. Go Anki. All right, so hey, now that we've discussed regular kibble, let's move on to superior kibble. All right, and now we're talking about superior kibble. Now, these ones right here, these are the larger eggs, or the large eggs. All right, so now the recipe for this one, it's actually a little bit trickier than the other ones, but it's not too bad. We haven't got into, having to craft up, the other, like the chowder and stuff like that yet. That's in the next ones. This one right here is 2 citronal, 1 prime meat jerky, 1 large egg, 5 fiber, 2 rare mushrooms, 1 sap, and 1 water. It's still pretty easy. It takes a little bit longer, for the prime meat jerky, but other than that, it's still really easy. Now, this one right here actually comes from a pretty large list. It's not nearly as large as the last one. Here, let's put it up on the screen again. Give it a second. All right, so now this one right here comes from quite a bit of dinos. And I almost said Allosaurus because Allosauruses are one of my favorite dinos. But Argentavis all the way. These guys right here, I mean, if you're going to be playing Ark, especially on like the island, you need Argentavis. Argentavis is one of the best dinos that you can possibly get. It's one of the best flyers. In my opinion, is the best flyer for the island. Yeah, they outshine Quetzals. A lot of people will disagree on that, and that's fine. I fully respect your opinion, but in my book, Argentavises. I love to breed these guys. I love to have them as special, different roles. I like to have one with high health and high stamina so where you can get really far. You can do all sorts of cool stuff. I like to have a couple of them with really high weight for those metal runs. Get them following behind you. You can take your Anki up. You can smash a bunch of metal. You can stick all the metal on them and then bring it back because they have weight reduction on the amount of metal they carry. Plus, also, you can get some with really, really high combat damage. These guys are intense, they're impressive, and I just can't say enough good things about the Argentavis, especially after the TLC patch that made them look the way they do. Yeah, they're just awesome. I love these guys. Now, the eggs for these guys actually are used to tame, well, the kibble, the superior kibble, is used to tame Allosauruses, Argentavises, Castroides, Daeodon, Dire Bear, Dire Wolf, Dunkleosteros, gas bags, mammoths, megalodons, megalosaurus, megatherium, paraceratherium, plesiosaur, snow owls, tapajars, and woolly rhino. It is wicked impressive, and these guys right here, yeah, you'll get some really good eggs from these guys. It's pretty amazing. So these guys right here, absolute top of the line, the best dino for to add to your kibble farm for making superior kibble. So the kibble farm is still pretty small. I mean, it hasn't grown too big. I mean, so far we only have dodos, raptors, Ankis, and Argents. Yeah, you really don't need that big of a kibble farm anymore. Nothing like this. All right, so hey, now we're going to move on to exceptional kibble. Here's where the kibble farm gets a lot bigger. All right, see you guys in a sec. All right, now we're moving on to exceptional kibble. And you may notice that the dino behind me is a little bit bigger than all the other dinos we've been discussing so far. But it is the best. It's the absolute best. But before we get into that, let's talk about the recipe for this. All right, now it's one extra large egg for the exceptional kibble. And it's 5 fiber, 1 focal chili. Now that can be a pain in the butt. Really not that bad. Focal chili is really not that bad. And then you got 10 measure berries, 1 rare flower, and water. Other than the focal chili, it's pretty easy. And this one right here is actually probably easier than some of the other kibbles, especially the regular kibble, which requires Anki kibble, which may take you a long time because you're going to be taming these guys anyway. Yeah, these guys right here, if you plan on doing bosses, if you plan on playing Ark, I mean, who doesn't have a Rex? All right, everybody loves Rexes. Come on, face it. You play Ark to ride a Rex. It's as simple as that. I mean, who doesn't play Ark to ride a Rex at least once in their time that they're playing Ark? So you're going to be having Rexes. You're going to be having a lot of Rexes, especially if you're going to be fighting bosses, because Rexes are one of the best dinos for fighting bosses. Yeah, there are some different dinos that actually have certain select roles that you can insert them and substitute for the bosses. But if you want to just have the raw beefiness of a Rex army, which is just so impressive to behold, you're gonna have a ton of Rexes. And these guys right here are the best ones for getting exceptional kibble, right? Yeah, you can get them from Brontos. You can get the eggs from Quetzals. You can get them from Therazinas. You can get them from Utaranuses. You can get them from a bunch of different stuff. Matter of fact, let me put it up here on the screen. There you go. Those are the ones that you get the exceptional kibble from. But the best one, absolutely, hands down, 100%, Rex. Get Rexes, add them to your kibble farm, and you will not regret it. Because you're going to be taming these guys anyway. You're going to be breeding them anyway. You're going to be imprinting them anyway. You're going to have no shortage of Rex eggs. I've got hundreds of them already stored up. Just for the winter. Yes, hundreds of Rex eggs stored up for the winter. And now these eggs right here, they're actually used to tame the Brontosaurus, Gigantosaurus or Giganotosaurus, Carcanos, the crabs, the Managarmers, Mosas, Quetzals, Rexes, Spinos, Therizinosaurus, and Basilosaurus. These guys, yeah, you get the heavy hitters from these eggs. So get your Rexes, add them to your kibble farm. Take a little section of your kibble farm, make it specifically for the Rexes, because they're going to be big. Yeah, so now, so far we've got Dodos, Raptors, Ankies, Argents, Rexes. Now, let's talk about the last one, which doesn't involve the island. Yes, yeah, the next one is the extraordinary kibble, which is kind of a pain in the butts. And here, let me cut to that, and I'll see you guys in a sec. All right, now the extraordinary kibble, it's kind of a pain in the butt. It's not... If you're on the island, it's a pain in the butt. Well, actually, more specifically, if you're on the island with no chance of transferring off the island, it's a pain in the butt. Because if that is the case, you have no choice. You have to use these guys. You have to use the Hesperornis. More specifically, the Golden Hesperornis. But, and here's the one we're going to be concentrating on, if you have the possibility to transfer to another server, say like on the public servers, if you're on a cluster server for a private server, then go to Scorched Earth. That's right, because wyvern eggs are the easiest to get out of all these ones. They're the more reliable ones to get, because with this one right here, the recipe for this is 1 special egg, 5 fiber, 1 giant bee honey, 1 Lazarus chowder, 10 mejoberries, 1 water, to make the kibble for this, to make the extraordinary kibble. Now, like I said, if you have no choice but to play on the island, you have to use these guys. It's kind of unfortunate and it's kind of frustrating, but that's just the way it is. It's better that we just accept it so we can move on, and then we can start coming up with super tactics for getting tons of golden eggs. But like I said, if you have the chance, if you have the option to go to Ragnarok, go to Scorched Earth, wyvern eggs all the way. They're easier than rock drake eggs on Aberration because you don't have to get the radiation suit. All you have to do is go not kibble tame, go out and mutton tame a Thylacoleo, and then start doing runs on the wyvern trench, or get a Pteranodon, get a Tapajara, start doing runs on the wyvern eggs, get all the little low-level wyvern eggs that you get, and you will get a lot of them. A lot of low-level wyvern eggs. Instead of eating them anymore, now you're just saving them for the kibble. So where you can craft up this kibble and use it for amazing things. Because these guys right here, they, the eggs for this, they actually tame the Griffins, the Megalanias, the Rock Elementals, the Thylacoleo, and the Utaranuses. So you need these eggs, especially if you want to play with all the cool toys in Ark. Because Thylacoleo, amazing. Rock Elementals, amazing. Utaranus, I won't do a boss fight without a Utaranus. I have to have a Utaranus. So, yeah, either you can prime meat tame it, you can mutton tame it, or if you want to kibble tame it, if you want the absolute best Utaranus that you can get, which is generally what I want for boss fights, you have to get this kibble. The Megalanias, I could do without those. The Griffins are fun. I love Griffins. All right, but hey, all right, so there we go. There is my top list for the best dinos for a kibble farm. One of them you don't even need inside your farm. Yeah, that's right. The wyverns. Because wyverns, after they're tamed, after they're raised up, they don't lay eggs. So you have to get the eggs out in the wild. You have to go to the wyvern scar. You have to steal the eggs. And now, instead of just eating them or throwing them out, save them. Take them back to the base. Make a little structure next to where you're raiding the wyvern eggs. And then just store all the eggs there. Or you can just cook the kibble there while you're there. Just grab the egg, throw it in the pot, turn it on, bam, you got a kibble. Go out, get more, come back, do the same thing. Rinse and repeat till you got a whole ton of these. All right, so there is my list. The top list for the dinos that you must have for your kibble farm. One of them isn't even in a kibble farm, which is amazing. So there we are. The dodo's the first one for the basic kibble. The raptor is the best one for the simple kibble. The ankylo is the best one for the regular kibble. The argent, definitely the best one for the superior kibble. And the rex, absolute best for the exceptional kibble. And then wyvern eggs. So there you go. Your kibble farm, not nearly as big as it has to be. You no longer have to go out and tame all of these dinos just for getting the kibble. Now, I realize that kind of sucks because a lot of people, they love to go out and tame all these dinos. I'm one of them. I'd love to go out. So that is really shady. All right, I'd love to go out and tame as many dinos. I mean, I love doing the whole Pokemon gotta catch them all thing, but it's not a requirement anymore. Yeah, I mean, while you can get the eggs that you need from certain different ones, the best ones are these ones. All right, so hey, yeah, if you disagree with the list, if you disagree with a few points I made, leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to have conversations about this stuff down below. So hey, seriously, dude, I'm doing the outro, man. Chill. All right, so hey, if you liked the video, if it helped you out, make sure you click that like button. I really appreciate that. If you're new around here, subscribe. And until next time, this is Phlinger Phoo, and take it easy, everybody.